In this video, I'm going to be modeling for you the concepts and some examples of what we do in 4th grade with mixed numbers and improper fractions. Improper fractions aren't really new. They did do more than one whole in 3rd grade, but mixed numbers are a newer concept for some. So all mixed numbers and improper fractions is a representation of fractions greater than 1. And so sometimes they'll see it as a mixed number, sometimes they'll see it as an improper fraction. The difference is a mixed number is when they give you a whole and then more in a fraction. So here's an example. This is 3 and 2/3, and all that means is 3 whole pizzas and 2/3 of another. So you're going to be using 4 wholes, but only part of that last one. Or 3 cups of milk and 2/3 more cup of milk. So that is a mixed number. An improper fraction is just when the numerator is larger than the denominator. So here we have 9/4. And here, normally they think, well, 4/4 is all you would use, but you can have more than that because you need to use more than one whole. So I'm going to walk you through some examples of kind of how we show that these mean more than one whole pizza or one whole candy bar or more than one whole mile is being walked or whatever it is. So here we have 9/4. It's an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. And right away, whenever I see anything that has to do with fractions, I actually look at the denominator first because it's going to tell me how I'm going to partition. So I'm going to partition my one whole or all of them into fourths. So let me go ahead and make my whole. And I'm going to partition it into fourths. And I need 9 of them. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Well, that's only 4/4, and I need 9 of them. Now, a 4th grader might go, okay, well, let me just partition this more into 9. But then that actually becomes ninths, or a different fractional unit. I need more fourths. It's got to stay in 4 parts. So I can get more fourths by using another whole. So I'm going to draw another whole. And I'm going to partition that one into fourths. And then I'm going to, well, that was 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that was 8/4. So let me do one more whole. Partition that into fourths again. That's 8 and 9/4. Okay, so the improper fraction representation of this is 9/4. But I could also write that as a mixed number. How many whole did I use? 2. I used this whole and that whole. And then how much of the rest of the other last whole did I use? I used 1/4. So this picture shows 9/4 and 2 1/4. 9/4 and 2 1/4 are equivalent. They're just a different representation of this same picture. Let me give you a mixed number and show you how I can think about it as an improper fraction. So here I need 3 and 2/3. That thirds is going to tell me that I'm going to partition everything into thirds that I'm using right now. So let me draw my first 3. I need 3 wholes. So 1 whole, and I'm going to partition it into thirds. And this is important in the last step. So there's my second whole in thirds, my third whole in thirds, and then my last one is in thirds. Let me shade these in. So 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes, and 2 more thirds. So 3 wholes were shaded, and then 2 more little thirds. So now I need to put this into an improper fraction, and what that means is how many thirds were used. Since it gave me the denominator of thirds, I'm going to tell you how many thirds were used. Well, I'm going to count all of the ones that were used, so I'm going to ignore that one right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this drawing shows 11 thirds and 3 2/3 because they are equivalent. They're just a different representation. Now here is kind of a real world example. Let's say a recipe called for 1 3/8 cup of raisins and you only have a 1/8 cup. You need to know how many 1/8 cups do I need to use. So you're going to have to kind of convert or change a mixed number into an improper fraction. So I need 1 whole cup, and that denominator tells me I'm looking for eighths. So let me partition that into halves, then fourths, then eighths. And I need the whole thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I need more eighths. I need 3/8 more. So fourths, and then eighths. 1, 2, 3. 1 whole and 3 more eighths. So how many 1/8 cups did I use? Well, I used 8 here, and then 9, 10, 11. So it was 11 eighths were used. So if I had a little 1/8 cup scooper, I would need to do it 11 times to be equivalent to what the recipe wants, which is 1 3/8. Okay? So use this video, use these ideas when you are practicing mixed numbers and improper fractions. What is the difference between them? It's just the same representation of greater than 1 in a fractional representation. And then remember that the denominator tells you how the whole and the kind of leftover fraction part that you're looking for should be partitioned.